Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of this Untitled podcast with I am Carrington Hatton and I'm on the call with.
Kasarian Spence.
We are back for our third episode. We are approaching the Halloween weekend.
Yeah.
Um, you doing anything this weekend, Kasarian?
We are going out. Got work from 7 to 11. And then I'm probably going to go out Friday. And then probably I'm going to go out. I'm definitely going out tomorrow. And then Sunday, Halloween proper, is my housemate's birthday.
Mm,
Are we going out? Probably. I don't have class until late, but I'm not sure.
nice, nice.
Are
You
you?
dressing up as anything?
Are you going anything?
Yeah, I am doing a photo shoot tonight with my family. 'Cause my
Ooh.
mom loves putting stuff on Facebook. You know that.
Yeah, of course.
We're doing probably carving pumpkins tonight. Then I'm going over to my sister's to take pictures,
Right.
and then I'm hanging out with my high school crew on Sunday,
Nice.
just for like chill kickback thing. Yeah,
Nice. Nice. Cool.
yeah. All right. Well, let's dive into our topic today, which will be social media.
Mm-hmm.
So I figure a good way to start with this is kind of how we've been starting each one is us just both going through our experiences with the general topic.
Yeah.
Um, and if you would like to start.
Yeah, I can go first. Social media is interesting to me. I use it, but I don't really use it. Right? So like
Mhm.
I for example, I have a Instagram, which is my primary source of social media. That's where the majority of people follow me at. I'm most comfortable giving that out to people. But I don't post on there really because I don't know. Like, I thought about it. Like, I've thought about it a couple of times. It seems to be getting like good feedback. Like, I posted a picture like last year, and it got like the most that I've ever, um, like the most likes and stuff that I've ever gotten. It was like 100 or something like that. But right now there are only like two pictures up. I think people post
Mm,
more pictures with me or of me on social media than I do of myself. Um,
I
I
think
used
that's
to
true.
I used to be somebody who like put stuff on the story. I don't do that anymore either. I mostly
Mm,
just go through like the explore page and I send people stuff like all my guys stuff. You know what I mean? Like like that's something I like to do. I'm trying to like cut back on that even itself. You know what I mean?
mm,
But yeah, and then I had Snapchat years ago. I re-downloaded it for a very brief moment. Um, like because I was in a relationship with somebody who used Snapchat. Um,
mm.
but yeah, that like I deleted Snapchat years ago because I was like Snapchat just doesn't do it for me, and that's a blessing in itself. I like college
Yeah.
for me, like in Pittsburgh, a lot of people use Snapchat. I don't use Facebook really.
Mm.
I don't
Speaking of
use.
Snap, there was a time, like literally, where I was still messaging you and I didn't know you had deleted Snap already.
Yeah, like and I like because I had posted something like before what it was like I had a really bad phone.
Mm,
And I was like, this is draining my battery needlessly, and like
mm,
the streaks thing was like boring. Like it was just me
mm.
sending a black screen to people that I say that I care about. Like I'm like, this is dumb.
Yeah, maybe a little red S.
Yeah, with the S, you know what I mean? It's like good night streaks or whatever, and I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my
With people
god,
you barely even know sometimes. Yeah.
yeah, straight up. So it's like, all right, I don't use. So like I deleted that, and you turn here you go. And then I use Twitter because I think that Twitter is personally my favorite social media. I think it has the highest highs and the lowest lows. You definitely could fall into an echo chamber, but like the fact that you can like save photos, right?
Mm,
Like of anybody who like you post or posts, and then like I don't know. That's I think it's like funny as hell sometimes, but then it's also like really like not funny. Like the summer of 2020, it was just bad news after bad news. Like Twitter was like it was like really
mm,
detrimental to your mental health. Everything was really detrimental to your mental health in the summer of 2020.
mm.
But
Yeah.
yeah, it's So that's really my full relationship with social media. Of course, there's like Reddit I don't use. There's fucking Facebook
Mhm.
I don't use. I quick story about my Facebook. I like posted one thing on Facebook one time, and like I it was like a mirror selfie, and I was like 12, and like my mirror was dirty, and then like my friend commented under it. He was like, "Dang boy, like the mirror is dirty. Like you couldn't even clean the mirror."
Oh.
And then my mom was like, "Dang, Cassandra, you couldn't even clean the mirror. Never use Facebook ever again, bro. Swear to
Oh
God."
my gosh. No love for the selfie.
Yeah, no love for the selfie. I never like no. I've not used Facebook since. So
Damn.
yeah. How about you? What's your relationship with social media? How do you use it? What's your favorite? You know.
Yeah, so as you know, we're literally polar opposites when it comes to social media. Like you don't use it that frequently, but I'm like literally like posting every single day pretty much.
Mm,
Um I had a drought after I think as soon as quarantine hit, I had a drought because like, that was the time when everybody was like looking closely into themselves and things like that. And I just like couldn't find a reason to post. Like I just didn't want to. Like in high school, posting for me was and when I'm talking about posting, I'm mainly talking about Instagram. Like that was the main one for me.
of course.
Um but as far as posting on Instagram went, I only did it because my friends were doing it. And when we would hang out together, we would like, they would be like all posting it and it would be like this group mentality type thing. So we would all post like the same thing from the same hangout. And then we would get likes, we would comment on each other's posts. But like as we got into adulthood, there was no longer that like cohesion type of thing. So like it was
Absolutely.
more, yeah, absolutely more like individual, completely more individual. So once it became individual, I was just like, okay, so like, why am I doing this? What am I even posting for?
Yeah.
Um, like literally, I would be so like stressed out about posting the right picture and like, sometimes like freaking like it just doesn't look right. I got to make sure it looks right, but like
Hmm.
for who?
Yeah.
Um, and then like, and then I'll be worried about people like not agreeing if I express my opinion in a post
Hmm.
and like pressing me on that, like stuff like that. It was like super freaking stressful for like no reason. Um, but I think I had a turnaround about that. I started posting like just for the people who do care and the people who will support
Yeah.
type of things. I'm like way more comfortable posting now, and I've gotten back into posting on Snapchat. On the Instagram stories I post every single day is like constantly something on there.
Hmm.
Something about lately it's been things about growth, things like that.
Of course.
Same thing on Snapchat, pretty much like day to day stuff, selfies, whatever. Um, Facebook, that was my social justice outlet last year. Um,
Hmm.
but I haven't used that much since then because I've totally checked out of politics.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. As far as Reddit goes, Reddit is a really good place to explore new ideas and like get information. I joined back when I was a Christian, I joined a gay Christian community.
Hmm.
And it was really like helpful to like see people, going through the same experiences, having to like come out to their parents, have that religious conversation, all that stuff. So that was definitely comforting. Um I follow like a vegan group on there as well, stuff like that. um, what other social media? Twitter. I just go on Twitter for memes. I don't really use it.
Twitter's the
Um,
meme page, bro. Like,
yeah, it's so good. Yeah, especially the Marvel shows that were coming out. Like the second
oh,
episode dropped, they would just like they would be on it.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, Twitter is good for memes for me. As far as everything else goes, oh TikTok. Oh man, do I have things to say about TikTok? Um,
I do not
well,
have it. I've still resisted the urge to download it. I am very
yeah,
thankful. People just
and
copy
I'm
the link and send it to me.
Absolutely. I support people in not if they don't want to not getting TikTok because it's a lot.
Hmm.
It's really, really, really a lot. But as far as TikTok goes, I have a TikTok. And if you don't follow me, go check it out. Carrington Hatton,
Hmm.
KarringtonHatton. Gotta throw that plug in there. Um, but as far as TikTok goes, the most important thing for me is that you can cultivate your For You page. It doesn't have to be, the garbage and nonsense like all the time. There's a not interested button.
Hmm.
And I've literally clicked that on most of the posts. And if it's like, about growth or whatever else I'm interested in, I'll leave it. and literally my For You page is all about growth, and like I don't even see the incoming trends and things like that anymore. So it's literally a place for growth for me, which is turned into something really nice, whereas it was previously very toxic.
Yeah, like I've heard that the For You page, you gotta like be involved with TikTok. Like if you get a TikTok, you get in the TikTok grind for like a week and a half, and you gotta cultivate your For You page. And once that's it, you're golden. Like everything's good. You know what I mean? But yeah, I've resisted the urge to do such. You know,
Yeah, if there's no pressing necessity, I'm only on there because I intend on creating an account, building a following, stuff like that. But like
absolutely.
I literally wouldn't be on there. My head would be in a book. Trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, since you use Instagram, talk to me. Well, I mean, like use social media in general. Talk to me about how you think this, like, not showing the likes on a post has like influenced how you post, or have influenced people around you who post. Because like I knew it was like speculation, because I'm really into like news and of like entertainment news. So I know like
Mhm.
weird like video game news and like entertainment news and shit like that. But like
Mhm.
I knew that they were talking about rolling out something like that. And then
Mhm.
I saw like a post and it was like by you, somebody you know, and others. And I was like,
Mhm.
what is this? So just talk to me about that. Like, do you think it's changed what you've seen people post, or has it changed people
Mhm.
around you, or your own post?
So I don't think I can so I haven't talked to people about this, but I'm not sure. Yeah, it's not noticeable to me whether or not it's changed anyone else's posting,
Uh huh.
mentality, but it's absolutely like it was game changing for me in terms of how I view others. Like I realized a few things. One, for example, is that I used to judge people's credibility based on the number of followers and the number of likes they had on a post. Like,
Hmm.
if it was an opinionated post and it had like 23K likes, I would be like, oh shit, let me read this and pay attention. But if it only had like 50, 20 likes or something like that,
Hmm.
I would like scroll past or like, I would give it less of my attention. I'm just like, not necessarily accurate because now that I've turned on that feature, I like read all the posts and I feel like I'm not only able to weed out my feed, with things that I'm not interested because I'm actually like actively paying attention to like what's on my feed. So like if it's
Absolutely.
something I'm not interested in, I'm literally just going and follow them. Um, but like it's just helped me to be more aware of actually what's going on in my mind with this whole social media thing, especially in terms of like likes. And then that doesn't even get to mention like likes on my own posts. Like that would stress
Yeah.
me out big time. Like, especially since I'm an artist, I post a lot of like artistic content where I'm kind of putting myself out there, putting things that I really care about out there.
Hmm.
And then it doesn't get a lot of love. Like I'll just be like, oh, it must not have been good, stuff like that. But fucking nobody cares. Literally, like
Yeah.
the people who love it will love it, but like everybody else is just gonna move on. Like, so not seeing the likes has helped me to be less concerned about how others will receive my art pretty much.
Yeah. I'm hearing you.
Mm.
Yeah. I haven't even posted since that thing has dropped. Um. Yeah. Like what I did do though, like I would like check if certain people like watch my story, and like
Mm.
when they watched my story, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like so I was like always just like, you know. So like now I don't like I'm like I don't need to do this. I don't want to do this. So I don't
Mm.
post on my story. You know, the
Yeah.
close friends thing I
That's
think is
true.
cool. I think the close friends is
Mhm.
cool. But even then, I'm like, even though like it's my guys, you know what I mean? Like it's
Mhm.
really the homies. Like I don't even
Mhm.
post on the close friends.
Right. So what was it that like took you out of posting any kind of like with any kind of regularity?
It was like self confidence for a while. I was just like not confident, and I also like my phone wasn't super nice again. So like
Mm.
Not to say my phone is like super super nice now, but it's like, like higher end. You know what I mean? So like now it's just like I don't really want to. Like I'm really just grinding on my own. Like I am confident now. Um, like, and a lot of and I also like don't really love taking pictures. Like I have had pictures taken of me by a friend of mine who's a photographer.
Mm.
Excuse me. Or trying to be a photographer. Um, and she took excellent photos of me. Like we went out shooting, we did a bunch of things, and I just, I don't know, don't really want to post them. Like it's just not really my thing. She
Yeah.
posted them and like tagged me, and like there's a lot of again pictures on my like tagged page, I guess,
Mm.
because a lot of like the homies take pictures with me or of me, and then tag me, and then I just leave them up there. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But I don't know. I guess I think it was the confidence, and I think partly it was like I don't really care about these people, and then like I'm also like scared to be like my most authentic self. So it's
Mm.
difficult because again, like I got my homies who are back home, like in Baltimore, and
Mm.
then like I got the folk who are like here. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And I'm not afraid to say it. Like I'm vulgar in nature. I say whatever like the fuck I want normally. You know what I mean? But like I'm also not like I am opinionated, but I also like I'm no like social justice warrior. Like I feel like we
Mm.
just get caught up in like saying like the right thing all the time.
Mm.
Like you
Oh
feel
gosh,
me? Like
that's a huge one. That's a huge one.
yeah, so I'm like worried that these people are gonna feel like offended or something. When
Mm.
like for me at least, like I have thick skin because the four siblings thing, and then I
Mm.
also have like in Baltimore people are rude, like they're not nice really.
Mm.
So like I got made fun of as a kid, and like you know what I mean, like so I kind of say whatever the fuck I want, and people are like you know normally like fine in Baltimore, but people here are
Mm.
sensitive. So it's like,
Mm.
I have now like two exactly opposite asides to please, if you will. So now I just don't. But I just don't post.
Right. Interesting. Huh. That's really interesting. So so instead of, posting and then, not caring, you are on the side of not posting?
Yeah. Also because like I don't really have anything to post, right? Like
Mhm.
I've thought about like just posting a photo dump
Mhm.
because
You could post your poetry.
yeah, yeah, and I could do that too. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Like I do a photo dump with some poetry because
Mhm.
like I took a bit of selfies when I was with my last girlfriend because we were long distance, but
Mhm.
I don't really have a lot. Again, I don't normally take pictures of myself, um, and the majority, I guess, of photos I take are like for me. Like I take shirtless pics after I come back from the gym for myself, and I send
Mhm.
it to my brother, and he's like, "Oh, you're getting big," and then he sends me his photos, and I'm like, "Oh, you're getting big," you know what I mean? Like, but I don't normally do
Yeah,
that shit
there's
for
no
real.
use. Yeah, there's definitely no need to.
Yeah,
It's the
I just
biggest thing I feel like with social media. We need to figure out, if there is a why, and if there's a why, go for it. But if there isn't, like, don't feel pressed to just because everyone else is doing it.
and that's exactly it. Like I don't feel pressed to.
Mhm.
I don't know. Like social media, like again, like it's normally like, oh hey, look at me, like, and I've also noticed that like people normally are like posting for somebody else. You know what I mean? Like they're posting like for like that ex that they like kind of want to get back together with or whatever, just to be like, oh hey, look at me,
Mhm.
like I'm doing great, like or whatever. And I'm just like, I don't know, like I don't really care. Like I'm working on myself in silence. All the people who like need to know that I'm working on myself know it. The people who
Mhm.
don't, they don't need to, so they don't need to really know it. You know?
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of performative. Literally, some social media itself is like kind of performative because we're always like catering our responses and our actions around who's seeing it.
Precisely.
Um, yeah, I mean, unless you have that awakening, you understand, like, and then you start, expressing yourself in an unfiltered way. Like I have gotten into being way more authentic on social media because like if I was going to continue at all, I had to do it authentically. Like I was just,
Absolutely.
I would be sick if I didn't. So I, talked about my sexuality openly in a post one time. And and I noticed that like not everyone sees the post anyway, so it's not like I really like did something huge and crazy. But there was a time when I absolutely wouldn't do that because I was just like so in fear that
Mm.
somebody would be like, "Oh, like that's wrong," or like. And I also have like family that follows me on Instagram,
Yeah.
like extended family, old folks, stuff like that. So like that's a whole thing,
Gotta
but
get the blocking.
um, maybe. Um, yeah, there's a whole gaze like I feel like is existing, um, especially on Facebook. That's part of why I don't post on Facebook that much. It's like
Yeah.
the grown-ups, quote unquote grown-ups, those are the ones be on Facebook. Um, I talked about I talked about like me not being a Christian anymore. I talked about like, lack of morality type of thing, like these very like controversial like things. And I was like finally comfortable with just like putting it out there. And when I did, I realized that no one gives enough shits to actually like call like if they even if they do disagree, like nobody's gonna be in the comments and blowing up my phone. I mean some people will, but like even if those people do, like really okay. And like
Yeah. Absolutely. Doing it authentically is definitely the best way, and I admire that and I respect that. I think that like yeah, like you notice people are like they don't care that much. They just don't. You know what I mean? And
yep.
it's nothing on you. It's just like it's just not that big of a deal.
Mm. Yeah, I'll be like posting so many things and like it's just like it's flying in my world. Like it's just like that. And I'm just like posting all these stories, posting all this stuff. And then I link with somebody in person that I know follows me and like views a lot of my stuff. And then we're having a conversation as if they never saw any of it because like, maybe they were just like idly scrolling, weren't really paying that much attention. Like, and I have to re-inform them about everything. But like literally, like there aren't as many eyes on you as you think there are. And even those eyes that are on you, literally, people, this is something that I realized lately.
Mm-hmm.
As adults, we're literally completely self interested. Like,
Mm-hmm.
no one, I feel like, cares about what you're doing. They care about it in the sense of like, how can I support you? Or
Yeah.
like, but in the sense of like I'm gonna get into all the details of your life, like no, not really. And especially if you're not being authentic, I feel like a lot of people are just projecting their own stories to everyone else all of the time,
Mm-hmm.
and not really taking that much of an interest in other stories. But all that to say that people in general are very self-interested. And I don't think that there's necessarily anything wrong with that, but I think that the acknowledgement that's very important is that means that it's okay for us to be self-interested, and
Mm-hmm.
that when people view us, they're viewing it in the lens of how can what you're doing help me, not oh I'm so invested in your life, I'm so like looking at what you're doing type of thing, and I'm going to critique you on this, critique you on that. Like no, they're like going to go right back to thinking about themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good way to think about it. Absolutely. I mean, I go on social media really just to like like not pay attention to something. You know,
Mm,
I follow some news stuff on social media, so like that was in itself like difficult. Like I see
mm,
the guys, you know what I mean? Like I post like I um like they're posting all that good stuff. But I mostly
mm.
just go on there like just for the memes, right? Like, and now that they have reels, I pretty much have TikTok or whatever. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like,
pretty much.
so like I don't go on there from some to just to go on what you were saying. Like, I don't go on there for like to really look at people and be like, oh yeah, I'm what are you doing necessarily? There was a point where I was like that, and like I've kind of moved on from that. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
like at this point, like I go on there for fun, and yeah, there are some people like I like to see what they're doing because I don't talk to them on a regular basis, and I support them from the shadows. But like I'm
Mm-hmm.
not huge into the whole like I don't know. I'm not huge into the like staring at somebody's life and comparing it to my own type of deal.
Mm-hmm. Have you had any, mental health experiences in terms of social media, like that kind of intersection?
Not necessarily. I don't know. Like, I guess the way that like those photos that my friend took, um, she's super great. She took them. Like one of them, I probably was shirtless, and I go to the gym, right? Like, but at that particular time, I wasn't really going to the gym, so I was like, I'm not like I'm not muscular in there, you know what I mean? But it wasn't
Mm-hmm.
like a big, mental health type of deal. I've never had that intersection, thankfully.
Mm-hmm.
I know some people find it really, really hard. Like social media, like hurts their confidence and a lot of other things. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm mostly like thankful that that isn't the case because I don't go on social media and compare myself to others. I mostly like go on social media, even when I see people who are like really buff. Not like I'm trying to get like fucking massive, you know what I mean? Like I see that I'm like, oh, good for them, like or what are they
Mm-hmm.
doing that I possibly could incorporate into my workout? Not like, wow, huh? I never want to see him in real life. You know what I mean? So like
Wow.
that's where I'm like kind of lucky. I know some people have that trouble. How about you?
That's awesome. Literally, that's where I want to be. Like, because that's exactly how we're literally supposed to, not supposed to, but like that's a very healthy way to view others. How can I benefit from, your success type of thing? Where can
Mm-hmm.
I learn? Um, and yeah, that's definitely not where I have always came from. Like, I'm growing out of this frame of mind that I'm about to talk about, but like I am still in the process of growing out of it. Like when I see people, and I think I've made a lot of progress, but when I see people that are my age or
Mm-hmm.
that I know that are in like that same like level of, what is supposed to be like societal success or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
um, like when I see that they just got a like awesome job, or when
Yeah.
I see that they're making a lot of money, or I immediately like I used to immediately like apply that to myself and be like, damn, I'm not making that money, or
Yeah.
damn, I don't have a job. I gotta get on that. I gotta get on this and stuff like that, or like, damn, they're better than me for this and that reason. It was just like super fucking toxic, and it made me a tiny bit like resentful. I wouldn't like express that, but
Mm-hmm.
it just made me like uncomfortable around certain people, and it made me but it was a projection. I was just like really uncomfortable with myself because my standards were based on other people pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
um, Not realizing that at this age or any age there's literally no standard for universal success. Like when you have this, you're successful. Like it just doesn't work like that. Success is self-defined. I'm now realizing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would like that's really interesting. Like I think that especially our generation, I mean, we are big on sharing our successes and like one of the coolest things about like, I use Twitter mostly like I've already said. Like people on Twitter will be like, I passed the bar exam. All of like, I'm being black, I'm pretty much a part of black Twitter, it's like
Hmm.
um all of black Twitter will retweet that like that, you know what I mean? Like and
Hmm.
then there's other times like I look at stuff and it's such like the minimalist thing. So like my room is pretty set up, you can see my bookshelf right here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I got my closet right here. You can see all my clothes. But like most people like start off if they move into a new spot, they got like an air mattress and like their school provided laptop and maybe a TV or something like that.
Mm.
And it's like I saw a picture one time and it was like it was an it was like a little twin air mattress and then it was like one of those how it started versus how it's going and like the how it's going is now like like a full bed with a bed frame. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And it was like little stuff like that. It's like, oh no, this is still progress. Like this is still dope
Mhm.
as fuck. Like you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, I think it's difficult for us to kind of like delineate being like like happy for others and not comparing it to ourselves. Um,
Mhm.
one of the things that I think helps me in that regard is that I know that like my journey to success is going to be very different than anybody else's because I'm a writer. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
I'm not about to pull up and be like, "Hey, bro, I just got this 9 to 5. I'm making 100K." You know what I mean? Like I'm not going to be working
Yeah.
in a cubicle. Like I refuse. You know what I mean? Like so
Yeah.
it's all that shit is like so like I'm lucky that like I because of my career path and a lot of that other
Mhm.
stuff, you know, like I don't know, I just don't think about it.
Mhm. Yeah, I felt like a whole piece of crap in June because I'm for those of you who don't know, my major is law in school. I'm planning to go to law school next fall. But I didn't have an internship this summer, and I really, really, really wanted an internship to enhance my resume for law school and make the application process go great. And literally within like this community, like having an internship is not an option. Like that's a must. Um, and I didn't have one in June, and like I'm about to graduate next semester, and I just felt like complete garbage. And I knew people who had internships. I asked one of my friends, and she was like she got it through her family connection.
Mm.
I was just like, oh shit, because I was like making sending I'm doing applications and stuff. But yeah, I was absolutely comparing myself to others in that respect. Not definitely not where I am now, which is like giving into the flow, like accepting like that what I need I'll have type of thing. But yeah, that comparison thing, man, it's and that covers a lot of the social media experience. It really, really does, especially when you're
Yeah,
primarily following not news sources, but your friends.
yeah,
And when they're putting on, the highlight reels of their life, then you compare that to the completeness of your life. You think that you're a hot fucking mess. But yeah, it's crazy.
yeah. And part of it has also been like I'm really thankful that I talk to people a little bit about social media and I talk to people who I follow.
Mm,
Um, like for a quick example, right? Like I saw a friend of mine. Her name was like no, I'm not gonna put her name out there, but a friend of mine, and she had went to this party. I think it was like last Saturday or
mm,
last Friday. I don't fucking know. One of those two. And I was like, "Yo, like, you seem like you had a good time. Like, I was like, what did you like? Did you enjoy yourself?" And she was like, "Eh." And I was like, "Oh, you look like you had a good time, like on social media or whatever." And she was like, "Pictures
mm,
lie." And I was just
mm,
like, boom, bam, pop.
mm.
Like that's
Yeah.
literally it. Like, and I mean, like, shout out to her. Like, I mean, we're friends, so she can tell me that. You know what I mean? But like,
Mhm,
I have gotten that general like vibe from people like a couple of times in like a couple of
mhm,
different areas. Like I'll see pictures. I'm like, oh, you seem like you had a good time, and like you hear about that trip actually, and it's like, oh, you just like posted it like you had a good time. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yep. Pretty much. That reminds me of this Halloween weekend, for example. I was like, damn, like, because we're doing like this chill kickback on Sunday, and I'm
Small
just like,
kickback.
we're literally, huh?
I said small kickback.
Yeah, literally. It's so, and like those are great,
Yeah.
but I thought like I kept bringing up this like scenario that I was missing out on something because like Towson's a party school, like there's always something happening. It's live, and like everybody congregates like in Uptown, which is where all the bars are and everything. And I was just like, there has to be like an event up there going on or something. But I like listened in on like people's Halloween plans, students' Halloween plans, and I realized that they're they're just going to bars. Like all of the people are just going to bars. Like I didn't hear any kind of variety, and the people who weren't going to bars were doing like small quaint things with their friends,
With
and
the
I was just like,
guys.
that's it. Like you mean to tell me I really wasn't missing anything? Like like, and I was about to like, and I definitely would have done that. Like as a sophomore, freshman, I definitely would have like thrown myself out there, um, and like just gone uptown to the bars or whatever and drank and just had like an okay night kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah, it's I tell everybody, like you're like never really missing out on nothing. Like I'm going out this weekend, and I don't know what I'm doing. I know that like the guys, the homies are gonna meet up at the crib. We will drink, and we'll go somewhere. And if we don't, we'll be in the crib. And like I watch MMA. This is a quick little sidebar, but like or like we'll watch the MMA show. Like the
Mhm.
pay per view this weekend or whatever. Like you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like I like it all. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like
Mhm.
enjoy yourself how you want to enjoy yourself. I have been in like parties and like scenarios. Like I went to this party and it was like super cool because I went to like my friends and like people were like, "Oh yeah, come," and like nobody was there, right? Like it was like the main people who threw it and like the girls whose birthday it was. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And it was like it was cool because it was like I knew these people like and I went with the friends, so like we were all good. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? But then like I saw like these two girls like post like a video like they were having like so much fun, you know what I mean? And like they picked up the phone and they just went back to normal. And I was like, that's a little weird, you know? Like
Mhm.
that's weird. Like you don't have to post like you're having a good time. Like if you're not having a good time, you could like focus on being present and actually having a good time possibly, you know?
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me of this trend that I had in my life where I was doing experiments with myself to like try and like figure out what was going on, get myself out of it. Basically, whenever I had a success of any kind, or I had something, comical happen to me, like, oh, this lady at Starbucks, like, butchered my name or whatever on the cup. And then I would like post it on my story or whatever. But I like, did
Mm.
experiments with myself of like not posting and not feeling obligated to talk to other people about it. Um, and at first when I started doing it, I was just like kind of sick. I was just like, this angsty kind of feeling rose up in me because I was so used to posting about every single thing that happened in my life,
Mm.
and like I don't think it was certifying, me enjoying it, but it definitely felt like it was a requirement. Like if I enjoy it, I have to post about it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And if I don't post about it, I'm not enjoying myself.
Mm.
But yeah, I've definitely been practicing more of like, even if it's something incredible and amazing, something really awesome, it's literally fine for me to keep it to myself and like keep it to myself off of social media and even keep it to myself. Like, don't even like talk to other people about it. Like, I'm a whole person. Like, I can celebrate myself and enjoy moments too.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. I saw something similar to exactly what you were saying. Like it was like if you worked for it alone and suffered for it alone, celebrate it alone. You know what I
oh,
mean?
sure. Wow.
Like you don't have to celebrate this with people who like didn't weren't there with you like in the trench.
Mm,
Like getting to where you are right now.
mm.
Um
And they'll probably
and
understand even less about how much celebration is really necessary because they weren't there.
yeah, exactly. Mm, like yeah, that's just I don't really social media is difficult. I would love to touch a little bit about like the performative nature of it, the like echo chamber and like even like
Mhm,
just like politics with social media, um,
mhm.
and like
That could be a whole episode.
yeah. Well, I mean, like essentially, like my real reckoning with social media like started and ended in the summer of 2020 after
Oh
like
wow.
George Floyd and everything, like I saw it. I saw everything in a perfect light. I was like, y'all are only like this on the internet.
Mm,
Absolutely. Yeah. Cause like being a being a black man in it on a white campus, and I don't go to no like Towson is like a mediumly sized school, right? Like what y'all got like 60,000 undergrad or something like that.
I think it's actually 20 something
Oh
thousand.
yeah, 20 something thousand. My bad. Oh yeah, like 60,000 is a big school, but yeah, like
Mm.
that's like like that's medium. My school is like 2,000 undergrad, three
Oh
thousand.
wow.
So like I go to like a high school. You know what I mean? So like I'm very like I'm black. Like I mean like there's no if ands or buts. Like I'm black, and the majority
Mhm.
of the people who are there are white. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
like I talk about my experience on campus, like with people who at the time were my friends, and like they wouldn't listen. Me and then they were like, or like I would think they would be listening or whatever, and then like the George Floyd business happened, and then they were like posting about it like they never heard of this shit before, and I was just like,
Ooh.
y'all only like this on the
Mm.
internet. Like I see, like
Mm.
there's nothing else to see anymore, and like I mean
Mm.
we're not friends anymore for like other reasons, but like after that I'm like wow, and like it wasn't just them. You know what I meant? You know what I'm saying? Like it was it was everybody because it was trendy. You know?
Yeah, pretty much. Oh my gosh, I can't believe the Tuesday, the Blackout Tuesday squares will never like I will never not like die at that. Like literally people posted a single black square and then didn't say a single thing ever again. Some people even archived the black squares after a minute. Like, oh man,
Because it fucked
yeah,
up their feed.
yeah, like oh, it messed up the aesthetic. Man, yeah, that like the whole social justice aspect of it, I had to check out. It's just literally people viewing everything as black and white. I'm right, you're wrong type of thing. And there's support within the communities, like within one political leaning and another political leaning, but like there's no debate between. Like I feel like for the most part,
Yeah.
there's no respect. There's no respect, and then people just repost everything that their friends are sharing because they think that they have to remain politically correct. And that's
Yeah.
that's exactly what I did. I didn't really think for myself because I was just like, if I don't think this, I'm a racist, right? Or
Yeah.
I'm like this and that. Like, so there was no like encouragement for me to think for myself within that sphere, pretty much.
Yeah. It was, that was tumultuous times. Like, straight up, social media was like, not it. Like, it was literally like you wake up, it was like a rise and grind gauntlet of you like waking up and then like hearing bad news. Like,
Mm,
it was one thing after another. Because it was like Ahmaud Arbery, and then like George Floyd, and then there was Breonna Taylor, and then there was
mm,
it was everybody, and then like there was other like little things happening, like
and the
the
fires.
yeah, and then like you think about like the Glee star who like
Mm,
died and
mm,
saved her like kid, like it was terrible. Like it was
yeah.
really like really
Yeah.
really really fucking bad. Um,
Yeah, I had to check out of all that.
straight up.
A lot of people will disagree, but like even I've checked out so far to the point where I don't even watch news anymore.
I
I
respect that.
don't follow any social media accounts that, share current events, unless it's like video games, entertainment, that type of
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, like I can't get out of that. But like any like social events, like political events, anything like that, I'm just completely tuned out about it. Like my parents will come to me sometime like, did you hear about this? No, like I literally don't even know the first thing about it. And I wish that I could like cherry pick. I wish I could cultivate my freaking news feed like to the point whereas, just like I was talking about TikTok, like things that will only like support my growth or like increase my awareness type of thing. But like I just can't live on the roller coaster of having my energy like fucked up every single day because they're,
Straight up.
telling me the next person who got like, murdered or whatever.
Yeah, it's difficult in that regard, and social media really does play a role in that shit, bro. Like it's
Mhm.
like I'm with you. I was like, nah, bro, I'm not watching this. Like I am on like kind of caught up with current events. But if somebody starts talking to me about legislation,
Mm,
the only like legislation I know about is that like really crazy Texas legislation.
mm,
But aside from that, like I am tuned out. Like
mm,
because like you're right. There's no arbitration. There's no middle ground. Like there is only the left and the right, and I really do think like well, actually, I did like a political leaning text. I'm definitely far, a bit far on the left, but like it's also
mm.
partly because I didn't understand the questions. I don't know what the fuck they were asking, but like yeah, I don't know. Like I don't really. I'd just
Mm.
let that shit go, bro. Like I'm like I maybe I'm a part of the problem. I
Yeah,
vote.
that's I was just about to say there was this post. It was like if you're if you're staying out of politics or whatever, it was some like phrased in some kind of quirky way or whatever. But it was like if you're staying out of politics, that just means you're privileged and whatever. And I was just like, he was like, they were like, you're privileged, like not to have your rights like up in the air or whatever. Yeah, yeah, and it's just like okay, like I no longer a free individual? Like, are you gonna just prescribe my entire life for me? Like like
Yeah,
am I gonna die? Am I hurting somebody?
yeah. That's so. That's social media. That's like you like peer pressure. Like I get it. Like voting is important, right? Like
Mhm,
I didn't vote in the last election because like I messed up my absentee ballot. You know what I
mhm,
mean? Like, but I would have. Would I have been happy to vote liberal? No. Would I have
mhm,
been happy to vote Republican? God no. But like I would have voted liberal, you know what I mean? Like I would have voted for Biden, but I'm just like we are really like I constantly feel like we're battling like greater of two evils. Nobody really wants to talk about it, you know what I mean? So like
mhm,
I don't know,
mhm.
like just the way that I think about politics, and I just like really do believe that we should just be like considerate of everyone else, but
Mhm.
we're really living in a like gotcha time. It's like you know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like social media and its role in cancel culture and stuff. Like we're running out of time. Like we
Mhm,
definitely won't get to that today, but like we
mhm.
will talk about it at some point. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like all that shit
Mm.
just like blows my mind. I think that we are like you should be allowed to kind of do what you want. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
As long as you're not hurting anybody, do whatever the fuck you want.
yeah, one thing that, I was reminded about while you were talking was how my scope has changed over the course of 2020 up till now, and I literally, like I wanna help individuals. I wanna, help individual people grow. I wanna support individual people, but I don't feel like I am personally in a position to, like there's, like, so much shit going on, like, it's literally global, national, whatever it may be, but, like, I'm not obligated to give my energy to the whole society of the US or the whole
Yeah.
globe, 24/7. Like I literally don't owe that to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But what I do find really enjoyable and fulfilling is like sharing things that can help people, with their mental health on a day-to-day basis, individuals, and like having conversations with people listening, things like that. Like in that, I feel like I'm actually like making a tangible difference, even if it's within like, my circle,
Yeah.
type of thing.
Yeah.
And I was going to say, you also mentioned something earlier that I wanted to bring up again,
Mm-hmm.
which was use social media, literally like do what you want to enjoy and like, okay, and just let that be it kind of thing.
Yeah. Like I don't use social media for any other reason than like entertainment. And Twitter, I'm the
Mm,
most active, but like that's because your Twitter feed can be shit that you liked from other people. You know what I mean? And like my most recent tweet, like it got like zero engagement, but it was still just something funny. Like it was
mm,
like I'm in class right now, and I'm looking at this girl play 2048, and she's so bad that like it's causing me physical distress. And that woman was very poor at the game. You know what I mean? Like I'm not like this is not like an over exaggeration. You know what I mean? But I also am. a semi pro. You know what I mean? That's 2048. But yeah, so like just use social media with the way that you want to. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to use social media to like connect with people if you don't want to. You don't have to endorse a brand you don't want to. You don't have to use that as this business model. You can use it to watch memes or to, post something, like have it be like a personal diary or whatever, like don't I think we give too much thought into it.
Mhm. Yeah, there's definitely like this social cloud, this social like pretty much like a hive mind maybe like kind of thing like
Yeah.
just telling people what to do, you have to act this way, you have to post this way, and then like we subscribe to it not realizing, not taking that critical thought into like, why and like am I enjoyably doing this
Yeah.
and if not, how can I enjoyably do that for sure. Sure.
Yeah, I mean, we're running out of time. I think if I was to leave you actually with one like message, I would say that like I would highly encourage everyone to like follow something that's like outside of your like normal comfort. You know what I mean? Like something that I think is really cool on Instagram that I started doing. I like now follow like art pages. Like I'm into tattoos. I don't have any. You
Mm.
can't see my whole body, but like I don't have any right now. But I would like to eventually. Um, I follow. Whoops. I follow like other like paintings and stuff like that. I follow people who travel. Well, not people who travel, but travel pages because I like really love nature and I really want to do traveling at some point. Um,
Awesome.
I don't know. Just like try to like go out of like your comfort zone. Don't just like be looking at like the people that you know. It doesn't even have to be like other people. It should be like places. It could be like little arts and crafts and stuff. Like it, like
Mm.
do like cultivate your social media to a way that when you look at it, you will be enjoying yourself and not be like stressing yourself out.
Yep, couldn't have said that any better. I'm completely fine with ending on that.
Okay.
All right. Thank you all for listening. This was an awesome episode. I hope you enjoyed. And yeah, have a fantastic day.
Yeah, you guys do the same. No, not you do the same, but enjoy yourself. Have a good one. Until next
All
time.
right.